All right. Today's topic is going to piggyback off of the last Instagram Live that we did last Tuesday. So last Tuesday's talk it had the title that said something along the lines of, your workout should not be very difficult, something like that. And a lot of the information is, it should be appropriately difficult, but not very difficult. And it was a good topic, and that topic popped into my head based on a book that I was reading, because obviously CrossFit and physical fitness never gets out of my head. So a lot of things that I interact with in the world every day somehow loop back in my brain to fitness or how they apply to fitness or something like that. At the end of that video, I somewhat mentioned that maybe for a future video I'll do something on the addictive properties that make something like CrossFit so compelling. And that was a bit of a rabbit hole, and somebody posted, please do one on that. It's an interesting topic. So, okay, so here we go. So, we're going to get into some addictive behaviors and how to manage those. But where this popped into initially was, so once a week on CrossFit Linchpin, we post a workout that you can do for time or not. And so it may say 3 rounds for time or not. And the reason that we do that is it's just a nice mental and physical break, a decompression, the ability to go into your garage or your gym and just work out without that constant pressure of the clock determining whether or not you had a good day in the gym or a bad day in the gym. Just just to get rid of that for a bit and just work out for the right reasons. Move your body at the pace that it feels like it's appropriate to move on that day. And that's it. You're working out. Life's good. It's great. And it can be fun when you take that pressure off of yourself. And obviously, you're not supposed to just crush yourself in the gym every day, with the clock. That working out with intensity doesn't mean maximal intensity every day. Not healthy, not sustainable, not the point. So all of that's related to it. In the not for time workouts that we post once a week, and obviously you can do whatever workout you want not for time as frequently as you want. You should always feel authorized to do that, but we post them once a week because some people, even if they know that it's good for them, literally won't do it unless they see it written down. They kind of feel like they need that authorization, which that's another topic right there. But what's interesting is, as wonderfully as they have been received, as positive feedback that they get, people just love them. There is a decent segment of the population as well that admits, even though they know that they shouldn't run the clock today, that it would feel good to give themselves a break. They can't. Like, they feel this crazy, crushing need to run the clock, and they struggle changing that behavior, which is profoundly fascinating. So, anyway, if you do just move your body at whatever pace feels appropriate that day because you had the discipline to shut the clock off, you remove the quantification aspect, right? You're no longer quantifying your workout, at least from a time component. And that now you can't judge yourself. So that's interesting. As soon as you take the clock out of the equation and you've got no idea what the workout took you, you can't judge yourself, you can't compare yourself to others, and you just have to work out for just all the right reasons. You're engaged in a healthy activity. You're moving your body. You're moving an external object. You're working at a pace that feels appropriate that day. You're doing everything for the right reasons. And you're doing it because it's good for you. But you instantly don't have the comparison component of it. And that's actually fantastic. It's great. It's liberating. Now, with that being said, if anyone in the world is familiar with CrossFit, familiar with its methodology, familiar with measurable, observable, repeatable data and why that's important, I'm one of those people. I have an intimate understanding of CrossFit and why data is fantastic. I understand the value of quantification, of measurement, of timing workouts, loads, reps, measuring progress. It has immense value, undeniably immense value. But it's a bit of a double-edged sword, and we just need to be aware of it. You need to take a hard look in the mirror as to what sort of an individual you are and make sure that you're in control of your workouts and your workouts aren't in control of you. So, for example, so these things need to be managed. Measuring your workouts, timing your workouts, all of that stuff. Data, it's not inherently dangerous, okay? But it's potentially dangerous. And I know dangerous is a strong word, but so it's not inherently dangerous, it's potentially dangerous. And that's just like, is a baseball bat a good thing or a bad thing? It just depends on what you're using it for. It's a wonderful thing that brings joy to the world. If you're just playing a sport with it, it's, if you use it to rob somebody at an ATM, it's suddenly different. So it just depends on the tool that you're using. Are you in control of the tool? Are you using it for the right reason? So let's dive into where this kind of came from. So the book that I'm reading, just about to finish, and I would highly recommend it. And it's the same book I referenced in last week's video. There it is there. It's called Irresistible by Adam Adler. And it's Irresistible, The Rise of Addictive Technology and the Business of Keeping Us Hooked. And it literally looks like there's an iPhone on the front. The irony is not lost on me that I'm on social media, on Instagram, on an iPhone, using all of this incredible technology whilst talking about a book that is all about addictive technology and the business of keeping us hooked. But that precisely relates back to what I just said a second ago, that none of these things are inherently bad. They can be wonderful tools for progress and spreading information if used properly, if managed properly, if you're aware of their potential pitfalls. But if not, you could go down a slippery slope of behavioral addictions, the device or the experience being in control of you and you not even being aware of that. And we don't want that to happen. And it can potentially happen with some people with working out. And I think that's a shame. So we're going to kind of discuss what to be on the lookout for so that you can be in control of your environment. So, great book. And the second chapter, so they talk about behavioral social addictions, where does it come from? Then part 2 is entitled The Ingredients of Behavioral Addiction, aka, or how you could engineer an addictive experience. So it says what makes an addictive experience, so that if you were an evil genius, you could take these very things and create an experience that could just suck people in without them even being aware of it. And there are there's 6 different things that help create and engineer an addictive experience. Goals, that doesn't sound bad, right? Feedback, progress, escalation, cliffhangers, and social interaction. None of those sound bad, right? But again, how are they used, how are they applied, and who's in control? So, and basically without those things, the experience has a very low chance of being addictive. And CrossFit has a bunch of these factors. And that's neither good nor bad. It just depends upon who's in control. So the first one, goals. There is no shortage of goals for you to set for yourself, right? To keep you engaged into that experience, into that activity. The goals are limitless in CrossFit. The next part is feedback. Oh, you get feedback all the time from every workout. That's exactly where measurement comes from the weight on the bar to the time that your 400-meter run took you. We live in a constant world of feedback in CrossFit. And you also get feedback in the social media world, right? You post this workout, you post this time, you post this whatever. How many likes did you get from the social media world? Was it reshared? Were there how many comments? That's all feedback as well, measurable, observable feedback. The next part is progress. And progress, of course, a big part of that is it's got to be measurable. So progress, keeps you moving, driving forwards and engaged. You want to advance on the leaderboard, you want to get a faster time, you trying to improve the progress on the goals that you set helps keep you in that experience. The next part is escalation. Can't be stagnant, or the user's going to grow bored and walk away, and then you've lost them. That's not an issue with CrossFit. That's not an issue at all. There is no shortage of escalation, right? The difficulty level is almost infinite. You can always increase the escalation of the experience, the workout, or the challenge. You can always go faster. There's always potential escalation there. You can add more reps. You can try to lift heavier. It literally never ends. There is a bottomless pit of escalation there. Now this one, maybe somebody out there can correct me. The fifth one out of the six is one that I'm not quite sure does apply, I have to admit, to CrossFit, and that's cliffhangers. So when you think about cliffhangers in creating an addictive experience, that's why you can't stop watching Netflix. That's why a typical episode of a well-engineered show, it has a story, okay, that has a beginning and an end. But if the story wraps up nicely at the end of that episode, well, that's not a cliffhanger. They wrapped up the story. It had a conclusion. That doesn't make you just ferociously have to watch the next episode. So they leave you with a cliffhanger. They don't wrap up the big mystery. They don't let you know who killed so-and-so. They don't let you know whatever. They build up the suspense and escalation to a cliffhanger. Show ends. Now, of course, you're a human being. We don't like cliffhangers. We like things to be wrapped up. So you click on the next show and you watch the next show. But guess what? That one also ends in a cliffhanger. That one ends in a cliffhanger. And you're just this rat on a wheel that, hey, it is what it is, right? But just what we're trying to show you the matrix here. Just open your eyes to the game, to what occurs, and then therefore you can be in control instead of you just mindlessly clicking the next show and not even really realizing why you did that because they engineered such an interesting experience. I'm not sure how or if the cliffhanger deal applies to CrossFit, so that one I'm going to pause. But then the last one, the sixth one, absolutely, social interaction. Doing something solo versus doing it as part of a team, part of a community, it's not even comparable. An individual is going to have a much greater chance of success, much greater chance of sticking around with whatever it happens to be if they feel a part of something, of some sort of a community. Nobody likes to let themselves down, but if you let down other people, or you know that other people are counting on you to eat healthy, to do the workout, to post your result, to do whatever it happens to be, your level of engagement is going to be much higher in that activity. And so, again, CrossFit really nails 5 out of 6 of these. Goals, feedback, progress, escalation, social interaction. Now, social interaction comes in all kinds of ways. People hanging out in your garage, you go to your gym, you interact with them through your phone, through Instagram, through FaceTime, Facebook communities. All of these things work. They create social structures that help people feel a part of something bigger than them and drive forward. Now, like I said before, all of these factors, I'm just telling the truth, okay? I'm not judging these factors. All of these factors are neither good nor bad. They just are. It is what it is. It's up to us to be aware and to be in control. Because, for example, if these social factors of how you create an addictive experience through goals, feedback, progress, escalation, cliffhangers, and social interaction, if that makes an addictive experience, now I know addictive has in and of itself a bad connotation, but we have to temper that a little bit, right? If those things help motivate somebody who otherwise would just be sitting on the couch eating junk food And those things help them be a part of something, helps motivate them and drive them to get in those workouts, to change some decisions, to eat healthier, then that's a great use of that tool. That's probably the ideal utopian version of that tool. That's exactly what you want. But here's the dark underbelly that you just want to be aware of and just make sure that you're not, part of that dark underbelly. Are you sucked into these things and you don't even realize it? Is working out still fun for you? Can you shut it off? Can you shut off that portion of your life when you need to? Or does it rule your life? Is working out still fun, meaning, is it okay when you have a bad workout? Or does that really bother you? Because you're sucked into feedback and progress and escalation, and that's what drives your happiness. And does a bad workout bother you that much? If so, if you're being honest with me, be honest with yourself. And then the other part, which would be an interesting question, is what makes it a bad workout? The fact that you did Helen 22 seconds slower than the last time you did it is a quote-unquote bad workout? How in the heck is that bad? You still went out. You still performed with intensity. You knocked out 400-meter runs. You're moving your body on pull-ups. You're swinging a kettlebell. Breathing rates through the roof. You engaged in a profoundly healthy and beneficial experience that will only better your life. But the fact that it was 22 seconds slower than the last time is a bad experience or a bad workout or not so much a great day in the gym, or you're met with a little bit of a disappointment because of what that clock said. If you are answering yes to some of those things, just be aware they've got their hooks in you. All those little things that make an experience addictive, they can have their hooks in you in a good way, or they can have their hooks in you in a bad way. So I would just ask, with an honest lens, check yourself out, and realize, who cares that you didn't PR that day? You should be working out because of what it will do for you for the rest of your life. And if the only thing that makes the experience good for you is when all those little social metrics move in a certain direction, then you get the smile on your face. When they don't, you could be turning your workouts into something potentially unhealthy. That's all I'm saying. So, and a lot of that just depends upon the personality of the individual. That's it. You have to, and it takes a while, and I will admit, I was like that for many, many years of my life. And I finally just, developed the wherewithal or sight, I guess, to see these things and then realize why I'm working out, what's actually important, how to measure progress. You will have good days and quote unquote bad days in the gym, but it shouldn't be measured by what happens with the barbell or with the clock. A good day in the gym is when you go in, get in a warm up, you look at the workout of the day, you make whatever the appropriate decision is, whether you should do it prescribed or modify it or scale it in some way, shape, or form. You perform that workout with whatever level of intensity you feel or don't feel like bringing to the workout that day. You finish it healthy and injury free. You cool down, you stretch, and you go home. That is a good day in the gym. A good day in the gym is not dictated by the time. A good day in the gym is not dictated by the loading. If you happen to get a PR, fantastic. I mean, obviously, that should be celebrated. Super cool, great. I mean, it does motivate people. We're human beings. But if that's the only defining factor of a good day in the gym, I personally don't think you're going to have a long, happy, healthy relationship with working out. I think a healthy pursuit could become an unhealthy part of your life. That's all I'm saying. So, live the life you want to live. Do it with your eyes wide open. Understand the game that you're playing, and make the decisions that best apply to you. So that's it. Oh, cool. We got a couple comments here. Needed to hear this. Thank you. My pleasure. And then, as the Dana says, age equals wisdom. I remember the days of having the attitude that if I couldn't do it RX the workout, then if I couldn't RX the workout, then I didn't want to do it. I absolutely remember that as well. And then another one for real. I wish I had learned this about so many things much earlier in life. 100%. And these things can apply to other aspects as well. So again, fantastic book, and I would recommend it. So I mean, I don't get it. I don't get a cut from this book. I don't know the guy, so this is not some sort of sponsorship or promotion. I like nonfiction, and if I read something that I think is beneficial, I would like to pass that along to others. So the book is called Irresistible by Adam Alter. Alter. The Rise of Addictive Technology and the Business of Keeping Us Hooked. Fantastic tool. Fantastic tool. Just make sure you're in charge of the tool and it's not in charge of you. Have a good day.